For this video, I am going to show you how to make a object that is dimensional. And basically the way you want to begin is to start by thinking about how you can break your animal or whatever it is you're going to make into simple shapes. So it's kind of like how we did the simple shapes drawing, but this time you're going to do it out of clay. So I have my piece of clay here, and I'm going to start with creating the shape for the body. I'll just do this little cat here. And you can add a little water on your finger if your clay has gotten a little dry. So now I have sort of like that shape for the body. I'm going to make a shape for the head. So I'm going to just take that and roll it into a ball. And so now I have the body, the head, and then I'm going to make the legs and the tail. So I'll come in here, and I am now going to divide this in half and make the forelegs. So I'm going to just start by breaking it into chunks, and then I'm going to just make what's called a coil. So a coil is a snake form. With the flat shapes, you're using a slab, but in this one, you're going to use coils. So that's going to be just like a little cylinder, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to just start putting things together. So what you're going to do is take your toothpick shape, and you're going to create some marks on the clay, sort of creating what are called score marks, score lines. And you're going to do it on both the surface that you're going to connect to and the object that you are connecting. So I'm going to just come in here with some water, and I am going to put these two things together. Okay, so now I have the head on the body, but I need to do something that's very important, and that's called melding. And what melding is going to do is really make sure that those pieces stay together as it dries. So I'm going to come in there, and I am going to just pull from that area that's forming the head, and I'm going to smooth it down and pull it into the body. Okay, and if it distorts a little bit, it's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pinch out rather than add ears on. I'm going to pinch some ears. So I'm going to just come in here, and I'm just going to pull a little clay out there to pinch. Okay, and I can see my dry clay's getting a little dry, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water to just sort of rehydrate it. Okay, so now I have ears. I've got what's becoming the head. I can pull up the nose, so you can just shape the clay to start making what it is that you want it to be. All right, and then I want to put on the tail. So again, what I need to do is take the little toothpick, and I'm going to put my score marks there, and I'm going to flatten the surface of the tail, and I'm going to put score marks here, and then add my water, and I will come in and attach that tail. Okay, and I'll be able to shape it and move it around after I get it attached, so, and give it the gesture that I want. But I want to just come in here, and I'm just taking the clay from the tail, and I'm sort of pulling it into the body a little bit so that these two pieces become well attached, and then that way when it's drying, it's not going to crack or separate. And this is the same process you would use if you were using ceramic clay, so it's kind of a similar process. So now I have the head, I have the body, I have the tail, and now my next step is to add on the legs. And again, same process. I'm going to score. I'm going to take the first leg, and I'm going to score that as well. I can add a little water to both of them, and then I am going to put on the leg, and again take my popsicle stick, and I'm going to meld it. So I'm melding this down so it's really pulling that clay from the leg and sort of pushing it into the body. But what that's going to do is make sure that as that leg dries, it's not going to break off and crack away. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to put on my other leg so that I'm going to work one side at a time. I can push back where I want the eyes to be using my tool here. Or I could choose to paint them on later if I wanted to do that. Maybe give it a little mouth and a nose. Okay. And then I can make sure that it has the gesture that I want it to have. If I want the tail to be turned up, I can turn the tail up. And there you go. There we have a little three-dimensional animal. Then you would just go in, clean it up, refine it, and let it dry, and then paint it. So there you go. That is working with 3D. And it is really helpful to just have a drawing to start.